Okay, so they're on about closing the REDCAR steelworks up on Teesside. This is Friday the 16th of October 2015. And then, hot on the heels of that, they've no sooner shown a shot of a guy walking along the beach talking about who's losing his job than they talk about the SCUNTHORPE steelworks closing. Okay, so I'll try and shed a bit of light on this. Basically, both steelworks produce 3.4 million metric tons of steel. Now, this is actually producing steel. This is from ore. You produce the blob from which you then make things. You send out ingots and people make plates and stuff. Steel plate. Now, I've just read up on this. The UK production puts us at, in 2013, this is the latest figures I managed to get. Steel production in millions of tons, we are position 18 in the world, producing about 12 million metric tons of steel. China was about 10 times that, and we've got America at 80 or something. We're ahead of Canada, which slightly surprised me. However, there's a bit of a point about this. The two plants that are going to be shut, as I've just said, they produce 3.4 million tons a year. That means 7 million tons between them. As we produce 12, there's just a slight issue. That means more than half the steel production in the UK is just about to die a death. Okay, so there's obviously this is hardship, but there's two main things I want to point out. Number one, this is all in the north, and when you've done this, it rather fits in with my theory that if you want a job, and then you might need another job, heaven forbid you might need two jobs in a row, then you get a map and you draw a line from Bristol in the west up to Norwich, slightly further north in the east, so it's diagonal and up to the right on the map, and you stay within commuting distance of that line or below it. So you draw a line from Bristol to Norwich and stay south of that if you want more than one job in a row. These steel plants are up north. It leaves us with stuff like Welsh steel plants, and it leaves us with Sheerness in the southeast, and so on. But we seem to have overnight just about halved the steel production. Okay, that's my first point. The north's taken a massive hit. Towns will literally collapse because of this. Ghost towns, as the specials had it back in the 80s. My second point is that not only does it devastate the north in a way, but steel production is not just about jobs. It's a question of national security. When you've got a Conservative government that is willing to carry on spending 60 billion quid, at the moment it seems to be saying that's what it's going to spend, on a nuclear arsenal replacement, but then won't spend a fraction of that in keeping our steel plants going. If we were to be adversarial with anybody, I might put it to you that potentially behind that adversarial conflict there might be somewhere like China or Russia or wherever. We might not be in a position to ask them for stuff, and they're now flooding the cheap steel across the world, which is why our plants can't compete. That's not a good enough reason to let them go. This is a question of national security. It's more important than keeping on Trident nuclear missiles that we'll never use. So we're going to overnight have the steel production of this country. It'll send us from position 18 in the league table that I saw down to we'll be still producing twice as much as Sweden. We'll be producing about a tenth what Germany produces instead of a quarter. we're really going to slip. And in terms of national security, it's really a problem. So for a government like the Tories that goes on about how security is the most important thing and stuff like that, and, well, they're leaving us with our balls swinging in midair, to be honest. It's dangerous. That's all I gotta say on it. Thank you very much.